Okay, so this is 7.3. This deals with the trig ratios. And trig ratios are three trig ratios. We have the sine, cosine, and tangent. So if you're dealing with a triangle, so this triangle here, and we're going from a certain reference angle, we'll call this our reference angle, and this will be x. So the side that's always opposite the 90-degree angle is always the hypotenuse side. Hypotenuse. Okay, the other side that makes up the angle is called the adjacent side. It's the side that's right next to your reference angle that you're missing. And the final side is the opposite side. Okay, we call it the opposite side because it's opposite the reference angle. So sine of x degrees is equal to the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse side. Cosine of x degrees is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse side. And tan of x degrees is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. So you can remember which one these are by remembering this little thing. It's kind of like PEMDAS. It's called SOHCAHTOA. So this is sine. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent equals opposite over adjacent. Something that people do to help remember is they remember this thing, some old hippie came a hoppin' through our apartment. So that's one way to help you memorize these trig functions, SOHCAHTOA. So these are the trig ratios. We're going to move on and learn how to find angles. Okay, so let's say we have a triangle, and this triangle has a reference angle of 25 degrees. And we're given x, and this side over here is going to be 20. So the first thing you have to think of is from your reference angle, which sides are you given? So from here, we're given opposite and hypotenuse. So the trig function that uses opposite and hypotenuse, remember, we'll keep it up here. Whoops. SOHCAHTOA. So opposite and hypotenuse, that is the sine function. So we say sine of 25 degrees is equal to opposite x over hypotenuse, which is 20. So we want to get x by itself. So in order to do that, we multiply these two together. So 20 times sine of 25 degrees is equal to x. So you get a trig calculator. I'm looking for one right now online that I can use. Hopefully this works. So we said 20 times the sine of 25 degrees equals 8.45. So in this case, x equals 8.45. And that's how you solve it. Sometimes what will happen is you're giving trig ratios and you're given the triangle and you're given this angle over here, x, but they don't give you the sides. They give you that this is like 5 and this is, I don't know, say 13. We'll go 15. Okay, and actually let's do a different trig ratio. Let's say we're given this side down here and this is 11. So we got to think, which trig function is this? What sides are we given? So from this angle, we're given the adjacent side, and we're given the hypotenuse. So that means we got to think, which trig function uses adjacent and hypotenuse? So adjacent and hypotenuse is right here, so we want to use cosine. Cosine of x degrees is equal to 11 over 15. Since we're trying to find an angle, we're going to use something called cosine inverse. So to get x by itself, we do cosine inverse of both sides. So that crosses out the cos, and we get x equals cosine inverse of 11 over 15. So we're going to plug that into a calculator. We're going to say, where is inverse? We don't want that. Cosine. Oh, there we go. Wait, is that it? Sorry, I'm not using this calculator. I'm not used to it. I think this is it. Cosine 11. Yeah. So a cosine is cosine inverse. That's what we're looking for up there. Cosine to the negative 1. Cosine inverse of 11 divided by 15. Hit enter, and we get x equals roughly 42.8 degrees. So x equals 42.8 degrees. And if you have a TI calculator, you'll have 3 buttons. There'll be sine, cosine, and tangent. If you want to figure out what those buttons are or how to get cosine inverse, all you do is you push second first, and when you push second, it'll give you sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tan inverse. So that's how you find degrees. And those are our trig ratios. We'll do one more example. Okay. We'll do one. Okay, where we're given this angle is 37 degrees. This side over here is x, and this side over here is of 12. So we got to think, which sides are we given from this angle? So the side opposite the angle is the opposite side. The side next to the angle is the adjacent side. And we say tan of 37 degrees equals opposite 12 over adjacent x. So since x and tan are on the bottom, we can switch these two. And we get x equals 12 divided by tan of 37 degrees. So we plug that into our calculator. We got, so 12? 12 divided by tan of 37 degrees. And we get the side length is roughly 15.9. So x equals 15.9. And that's how you solve trig ratios. Email me if you have any questions.